everyone, it's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nation people, that's W-O-R-I-M-I, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides in the universal energies. Very quickly, Cleta didn't come on Friday. She had a migraine, so Friday was put off, but I was so busy catching up with you guys, and I just wanted to let Friday play out. She's coming tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll be able to get her some lookies in before she arrives tomorrow. She and her partner. But we'll just see how tomorrow plays out. Might end up in the back seat of the car. We'll see how it goes. At the moment, the weather's absolutely lousy. We've got getting whipped with the very, very, very tail end of Cyclone Alfred. So those that are further north in Queensland and northern New South Wales, please stay safe and look after yourselves. Apparently, Australia's got 4 cyclones that are forming and deforming around it at the moment. Unheard of in human records, which in all honesty only go back about 200 years. But Mother Earth is just desperately trying to rebalance her temperatures after last year was yet another record heat year. I just want to put a little prayer out to Pope Francis, to George Mario Bergoglio, as he's going through treatment at the moment. Lord and Light, please look after Pope Francis. Please make sure that whichever path you choose for him, it is a gentle path, it is a kind path, it is a path of softness and love. Circling him with light, encircling him with love. Now, I'm not religious in the slightest, definitely not Catholic, but he is a decent man. He is a good man. He's a man of ethics, what more can one ask? Okay, where do I start? So much to look at. Okay. I might throw out a few extra. There's so much to look at. If you want to have a look at my notebook, this is what my notebook looks like. There's just scribbles all over it. Literally every one of those scribbles is a different topic. There's so much I want to cover. I think I'm going to start first up with the fiasco that's happened on Friday from a slightly different angle. So one of the participants has left and is currently in the UK talking aid packages with the UK and France prior to a EU meeting. The others, the wannabe mafias, one's gone again golfing. Another one went to Vermont, a blue state, to go skiing, and yes, go Vermont. I saw the video yesterday. Loved it. I don't think Ursula was very happy. I think she was, in fact, I get the vibes that she was extremely unhappy with her children being put in that scary situation by her husband's idiocy, as they were forced to leave their accommodation and go elsewhere to an undisclosed location, which be skiing, because if you see them on the ski slopes, give them a bit of a what for as well. And if he hits a tree and you're part of the medic rescue, don't give him any painkillers. Anyhow, beside the point, the vibe I got when I watched a very brief video of that, I couldn't watch the full. I really couldn't. I would have been through the television with a baseball bat if I had been forced to watch the full supposed meeting. I'm just going to say the feelings I got from the various members. Now, I got when Zelensky was talking at the beginning, and he was talking about how grateful he was and the situation of what was going on and the hope that the US could keep with the assistance, etc. Shady Vance was sitting there on the couch, and you could visibly see him reciting to himself, rehearsing the lines that he had to say. You could visibly see him doing that. He wasn't listening to anything Zelensky said. He was rehearsing what he had to say. And they were playing bad cop, basically. And he had been told what he had to say, and you could see that they were churning around behind. His eyes looked like one of those gambling machines where it's sort of, you know, lemon, cherry, pineapple, blah, 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 blah. His eyes looked like that. He was going through the words that he had been given to say. No, I won't. I was going to say will give credit, but no, I'm not going to. Rubio actually looked ashamed. He was the only one out of those sitting on the couches that he looked ashamed to be there. He looked like he didn't want to be there. Came out afterwards and said, "Oh, yeah, but I will. No, I won't give it. Yeah, I will give I'll give his conscience that. I won't give Rubio that. I'll give his conscience that. He actually looked ashamed to be there." As for the Russian state media, the RASS reported that was in the room. Now, remembering that AP News, Reuters, and all these distinguished news channels, reporting media channels, had not been allowed permission, there was a reporter from the Russian state media, not just some random blogger or anything like that, was in the room. When they were pointed out, they were removed, and there was this, oh, whoops, don't know how they got in there. So you're telling me a Russian just happened to walk unchallenged into the White House and somehow made their way into the Oval Office where there was how many international high profile people in there? Yeah, it doesn't happen. It just does not happen. So yeah, they were fully aware the Russian was there. Sorry, having my coffee this morning on screen because I haven't had it yet. But yes, something amazing is going to happen today. Absolutely. So, what I wanted to ask is not so much about Felon 45 or Shady or um, Vladimir Zelensky. I just want to, for anyone who's pronouncing the name, it's VLOD, Vladimir. Vladimir is Russian. Vladimir is Ukrainian. So I just want to point that out. I hate people when they correct my pronunciation, but I kind of think that one's a little bit important. I'm going to use the runic tarot. Now, what I want to have a look at is I really got the feeling that that Russian media person wasn't so much there to report back to the Kremlin because it was all recorded and anybody could have sent that recording back to the Kremlin. I think that Russian media person was there to find a certain somebody what they owed the Kremlin. So I want to have a look at, I'm using the runic tarot, I've got the cheat sheet here. So hopefully I'll be able to add a little bit more depth to the cards that come out when I feel I need to. But I want to have a look. So, oh dear, let's have a look. Oh, that was interesting. I've written down. So there was at some stage that I saw during the interview where Felon 45 actually snarled. He didn't verbally snarl, but his lips snarled. Um, and I think what happened is that it wasn't going how it was meant to, wasn't playing out how it was meant to. I did mention that he's an energy vampire. Oh yes, I mean all narcissists are, and had deliberately. Okay, thank you. If you hear my guides, let me know. They're just telling me that him and Shady had rehearsed ganging up, because there's no other way of putting it. They want to be mafia, so carry on. And Zelensky was supposed to react in a certain way, and he didn't. And it got Felon 45 really angry because he didn't get the reaction that he was expecting. Aside from the fact that Zelensky kept himself cloaked and didn't allow Felon 45 to suck his energy out. It's me having dealt with a full of narcissists in my day. He kept himself cloaked, so his energy, his goodness, his direct connection with universe, Felon 45 didn't have access to, which makes them really angry to start with. He didn't get the reaction back that they had rehearsed that they would be getting back. And boy, it made him really angry. But what I want to have a look at with my runic tarot, I'm poker shuffling down here, and then I'll overhand shuffle. I want to have a look at how the Kremlin is feeling with how this went, because you owe us. Remember that? Straight after. What was it, on the 6th of November or something? Right, we got you in, now you owe us. Russia, the Kremlin, Russia, I hate to say it, and when I say a country, I don't mean everybody in the country. I mean those that are in charge of their cohorts, which can be quite extensive. Russia is literally on its last legs in regards to this invasion. They need this. So I'm going to go, this might be quite a long reading because there's a lot of places I want to go in regards to this. So come on down. How is the Kremlin feeling? Oh, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Right, the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands can imply overreach. This is the here and now. This is the going forward. Can imply overreach. But this particular Ten of Wands, it's about planting the seeds to the future. So what happened on Friday, even though it didn't go as planned, there were some seeds planted for future action, and I've got a really strong feeling what that future action is going to be. Now, I do know what this symbol up here means. It's about protection, warding off evil, etc. But I'm just really feeling this message here. Oh, look at the eyes. I don't know if you can see the eyes glowing there. But this being a wand, it's about messaging. Oh, we've got two crows here. Now, in this particular deck, crows imply, no, in this deck, crows imply swords. And when you're talking about the Two of Swords, can be the cross sword, the decision to be made, the blindfold that needs to be taken off. It can imply a difficult decision to be made, a choice that needs to be made, options that they haven't made a choice on about which strategy they're going to use yet. Holy crumbs, there's a lot in this card, and planting the seeds. And I'm looking at, so we've got the protection over here, but it's upside down here. No protection, no shield. I'm just going to say it because I will have a look at this in a minute. Because again, this is, for me, this is overreach, but it's also about planting these seeds to the future. I am really wondering, and I'm going to read on it, as to whether Felon 45, and I'm feeling sick saying this, will order the US military to assist Russia and or remove all sanctions, so that the and order the US military industry to then sell to Russia. I want to have a look at that because when I was watching what was going on and my ears are ringing, okay, one card in, my ears are ringing and there's just so much information there. So how's the Kremlin feeling planting the seeds? They are feeling threatened by courage. So this is the strength card. It is also okay, because part of the plan was to divide the EU, divide NATO. What's happening is it's actually strengthening. So this is the challenge to this plan, is strength and courage. And if you want to see courage, look into the eyes of a Ukrainian soldier, look into the eyes of Vladimir, get it right, Vladimir Zelensky. Sorry, I almost said it wrong because I had been talking about it before. Courage, that's the challenge to the Kremlin, is strength and courage. The foundation, the manipulation, the magician, creating something out of nothing, pulling the rabbit out of the hat, distracting, look over here while this is going on over there. And I'm drawn to the fact that even the cowardness in this particular deck. But what I'm really drawn to in this deck is he has all the elements. He has the sword, he has the wands, he has the I'm sure the pentacles are there somewhere. Yes, he's got the wands and pentacles around his belt. But look at the cup. One cup here, but this cup here. It's almost like a megaphone cup. Playing on the emotions, and cups about emotions. So this is very much about an emotional game that they're playing, an emotional manipulation. Oh boy, oh boy. Now the rune up here is about the self. It is about enemies. It is about social order. It's about mankind. And it's also about friends. So, mankind, the self, friends, enemies, and social order. So, very much, I'm going to say pointing out, very clearly pointing out. But this is about self, pointing out who are their friends, pointing out who are their enemies, and trying to manipulate the social order. However, you've got two rainbows in the background. Through these clouds of darkness, you've got the sun breaking through. Just lift you up slightly so that you can see those cards a little bit better. Move that to that light right for you. Okay, in the past, Knight of Pentacles, not even slow moving, not moving, Knight. It can be about steady protection, but it can also be about mercenary actions. And it's not moving forward. So protection, money, mercenaries, not moving forward in the past. The Kremlin is literally hanging on by the last of its fingernails. And it's been chewing those fingernails, so there's not much fingernail to hang on to, and look who's crowning. The Emperor. The my way or the highway, wanting to bring down destruction, sitting on the throne, couldn't give a rat's backside about anybody except themselves. And the rune on it is the reactive force and defense and conflict. But this is very much about reactive and conflict. The Emperor. How's the Kremlin feeling? At the moment, they're feeling like they're in control after what happened Friday. They're manipulating the emotions out of cowardness. However, The light is coming through, and the rainbows of unity are coming forward. In the past, they've come ground to a standstill, planting the seeds to the future, but the challenge to them, the threat to them, is courage and strength. Wow, oh, goodness me, these cards are really talking today. The immediate future, the Six of Swords. So how's the Kremlin feeling? Moving forward to, right, they've packed up their swords, their strategies, and there's, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 runes on here. I won't read them. Aside from the fact that I can barely see them. But moving forward to a new dawn, a new beginning. This is the immediate future. How's the Kremlin feeling? Well, this is interesting. Temperance externally. Balance, moderation, peace, calm. How's the Kremlin feeling? Fields of wildflowers. These little, what look like butterflies, are the dawn, the breakthrough and awakening, the embarking on a new enterprise. The come hither. Okay. Internally. Chariot. No, the sun. My apologies, the sun. Fully exposed, full illumination. Racing through with I hate to say, I know this is usually can be a card of joy. It can be a card of things being exposed. I'm just getting the feeling of sun reaction. Now, there is a rune on the shield there. It's not on my cheat sheet. I'm not sure what it means. If you know what it means, let me know. The closest I can come to it is mysteries, secrets, and the occult, but I'm pretty sure that that's not it. It's not the same. If you know what that rune is, please. Oh, I see. Okay, it's a double solvolo. The sun, success, goals realized, and honor. But what I'm really feeling is that silo I keep seeing. Okay. Gosh, look at the major arcana we're pulling. Hopes and fears. Bison in the room. The secrets being revealed, trying to keep them hidden. The agenda being revealed. How's it going for them? The outcome's going to be a nightmare situation with that Nine of Swords. It's not going to work out how they think it's going to work out. Just like Friday didn't go how it was rehearsed to go, going forward is not going to work for them. So how do they feel? They're feeling, okay, what do we do next? And I think they've got a plan for it, but it's not going to work. The sun. Protection, defense. The sun. On his breastplate. Protecting is the power of renewal. Dream of hope. David and Goliath type energy. And the seven of Pentacles. Target on his back. Is all I can say about that one. They will reap what they have sown. The secret deals in the back corner. that were made by those that are living in the lap of luxury, made money out of it, currently in government, their contracts and agreements that they had made with their absolute disregard, corrupt disregard for human life. There's money trails, the Eight of Pentacles, money trails, new protection, but a whistleblower. Now, this new protection card really got my attention because this is whistleblower and bringing it to an end. The truth being brought out, bringing it to an end. And then we have this card again. I watched Dave from Tarot by the Bay, and he's now got this as his Vladimir Zelensky card. Mine still is the King of Wands. I'm not sure for me who this is. Was my Biden card, but I'm thinking that there is a new leader that will emerge from within the EU. Doesn't necessarily have to be a male. There's a new leader that will emerge. And he's a diplomat. He's emotionally calm. He's compassionate. He's powerful. And I am busting to find out who he is, who will be bringing a new beginning. The Wheel of Fortune will turn. I know this can also be the Mother Russia card, but the Wheel of Fortune will turn and there will be the birth of a new start that will be this new cycle that we're moving into. Now, we all know that birth is painful. They'll be holding on to what is really important about democracy, about protection, and letting go of the rest. So what I'm really feeling about this, just have a sip of coffee here. The feeling that really struck me after your Friday night, which was my Saturday. Oh, and an ace there as well. We keep getting all these aces, new beginning, ace, Queen of Wands. Now, who was I watching that had the Queen of Wands as one of the leaders in the EU? Female spokesperson. New contracts, new strength of partnerships. It's absolutely going to bring about a tower moment. So she's a positive queen. Oh, I wish I could remember who it was that I had watched. Sort of watch randomly and nap while I'm watching occasionally as well. But yeah, again, a female EU leader, a male EU leader and a female EU. Might include Ukraine, might include Canada. Trudeau just sprung into mind. Okay, but that's not what I'm going to look at the moment. Clear the decks. What I want to have a look at in this particular right now is Felon 45's next move in regards to Russia. So the journalist was there basically to remind and to keep tabs to make sure they stayed on target. As a full exposure. If you don't think he's a Russian agent before, do you think so now? And it's not going to end well for him. But this is in relation to what I want to ask. Is Felon 45 going to either lift the sanctions on Russia or, so either or, order, lift the sanctions, aside from, yep, the plan coming to fruition in regards to an overseas entity. The Ten of Pentacles. It's the oligarchical money, but it's also, and it is the end of a cycle, but it's also very much raping and pillaging card. I'm going to have to say yes, but let's have a look. Is Felon 45 going to nightmare situation and declaring a victory of some sort? Well, first of all, they're declaring that what went on Friday was a victory for Felon 45. It was interesting, Zelensky went on Fox immediately afterwards and very publicly thanked the American people. He wasn't the hidden agenda's going to get revealed, and it is about what's the Ten of Cups as well, but they're all raising their cup to the Empress sitting on his throne down the far end. It's just, it's going to be so in your face obvious. Okay, let's have a look. Now, why? Okay. Now, I'll do a different reading on that one. I want to concentrate. Oh, what's flipped over? Oh, ho, ho, ho. What's flipped over? And on the bottom? Sword of Truth being revealed. Emotional new start. You've got the Emperor. You've got the Three of Swords, treason, and having a head removed from the shoulders for such. And then you've got, I always call, well, it's the World card. It's the end of a cycle, but I'm always drawn to Raiders of the Lost Ark at the end when the Nazis are peering into the Ark because they get over greedy and they turn to dust. Holy crikey. But my question, I'll just put those back in randomly because there's not many there. My question is, and you've got the corruption and absolute disregard for human life, the indolent. It's like a game for them. It's like a game. They're not humans, but the wheel is turning. The wheel of fortune is turning. Is Felon 45 going to order either sanctions be lifted, which will enable Russia to buy US armaments from whatever, or will he order US troops to help Russia? Right, a lot of information is going to come out really quickly. Okay, thank you. I'm drawn to the fact in this card, so it's the Eight of Wands. I'm drawn to the fact that there's a lot of information coming out really quickly attached to the rainbow, attached to the unity. In the foreground, this figure is holding a book open. And in that book are two runes that about self-reliance and survival. Now, what this is telling me is that there's a lot of information going to come out from a unified source. Gee, I wonder who that is, NATO, EU, wherever it is. But this figure here is desperately trying to executive order his way into survival. Do not be surprised if he signs an executive order ordering that sanctions be lifted and or US troops or US military in some form, because remember that Ten of Wands with the seeds being planted? The rhetoric that was put out on Friday was in some ways intended to plant the seeds that Ukraine is the enemy of the US. Now, we're not falling for it, but that was the propaganda that the seeds were being planted, because that came from the Kremlin, and that's how the Kremlin, that's Kremlin playbook, is to plant the seeds that so and so is the bad guy, and therefore we need to attack them, or whatever, or they need to be arrested, or whatever. Do not be surprised if, in an attempt to protect his own backside or whatever is promised to them, that a executive order comes out to either lift the sanctions, or when all this information starts coming out, all this unity happens, all these declarations of support. Goodness me, how many world leaders came out after Friday and said, we stand with Ukraine, including Australia, New Zealand, all these countries all over the world? There must have been 30, 40 of them all came out and said, we stand with Ukraine. It's a lot of countries where this is the last thing from their mind because they've got their own struggles. But the unity, desperate need for survival, presenting some sort of decree, challenged by the Queen of Cups. Now, who's the Queen of Cups? We've had the King of Cups. Who's the Queen of Cups? Emotional stability. But not all is being revealed yet. That's the challenge. Oh, Yulia Navalny just sprung into mind. Do not be surprised if she's behind something behind the scenes in a certain country in the world, going to challenge them. I could be wrong. I'm not sure who this Queen of Cups is. She just sprang straight into mind, though, as emotionally mature, stable, blonde, even though it may be... No, she's very blonde, that Queen. But not revealing everything as of yet. She's not sprung into action yet. Okay, foundation. The world first of all stepping up, but it's also about bringing a cycle to completion. And those that overreach and get greedy, finding themselves in this situation. In the past, we've got the Judgment card. Judgment's very much about a collective awakening. It's also a call to arms, and I'm looking at the battlefield here. So this may even have been the Oval Office on Friday, the Judgment card. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm just trying to pick out the runes in that. Oh, look, another major arcana. So we've got the contracts and agreements here. The relationships, the sacrifice, the contracts, the partnerships down here. Up here we've got, looks like an M. Transportation, change, harmony, teamwork, loyalty, trust. But again, in the background, you've got the unity in the background. I'm gonna have to say yes. Now we've got this Temperance card again. desperately trying to rebalance in the favour. But again, we've got the butterflies. You're embarking on an enterprise in the immediate future. Temperance, moderation, but it's more about enticing to come this way. Externally, Page of Cups, something unexpected out of left field, bringing a tsunami with it, playing on the emotions. Internally, betrayal, deceit, Seven of Swords, sneaking into camp, slaying all those within. So something unexpected. Okay, I've just gone back to this and I'm getting, so the energy they're stewing in at the moment is world domination. It's not going to work. There's going to be overreach here. Our hopes and fears, the High Priestess, the hidden agenda, the plans, but the secret's also coming out. They want to kind of keep it hidden, but it hopes and fears, but they can't. Right, the outcome. Victory, justice, and an emotional overwhelming. But the secret being revealed. So if I'm looking at this from the point of view, the outcome, some sort of victory, which they see as justice. However, it's going to be really emotionally overwhelming as the truth can no longer be hidden. And it is exposed as literally a fight of good versus evil. And we've got the eclipse here. We've got protection for Zelensky. The offer of protection for Zelensky. It's going to be, something's going to be brutal here. The Five of Pentacles. Feeling like abandoned and left out in the cold. I don't like this card at all. Oh boy, oh boy. I'm feeling like my instincts on that are right. That felon 45, he's going to sign some sort of, I'm just going to call it a decree. It's not even an executive order. It is a regime decree that some sort of assistance is going to go to Russia. That will give Russia an upper hand to start with, but he's just so going to expose himself. So show me. Well, first of all, he's going to find himself entrapped by the messaging. But yeah, there's some sort of close-knit relationship here that's in the works. And it is going to be volatile. Look at all these wands. Wands are about plans. Charging forward into the flames with this message. I do not like these cards at all. Will he pull it off? Felon 45. So that's the plan. Will Felon 45 pull it off? Saw that, 444. Angel numbers. Seeing them everywhere. Will he put it? It's what the plot is in the background and in the secret corner is about. Seven of Swords. Betrayal. Lies. Deceit. Stealing. Will they pull it off? Will they? Oh, that makes sense. North Korea is just in the process of sending more troops. I'd say North Korea knows about this because the Kremlin and North Korea are obviously in discussions. Will they be able to pull it off? Be able to pull it off. I'll try and hurry this along. This is going along forever. Okay. First card out is the Defiance card. But this figure is bound to the stake, and the flames are coming for them. Will they be able to pull it off? In contrast to raising the cups to the Emperor on the throne. So this defiance under fire, I'm going to say of Ukraine, is being challenged by all those that support. The Wheel of Fortune, the wheel is turning. Beware karma coming and biting on the backside. The three here. Russia, North Korea, and F45 and his cohorts. No wonder Rubio looked absolutely ashamed. He knows. He knows this is in the works, and I am just so disgusted. I'm just feeling really disgusted here. Wheel of Fortune. The energy that they're stewing in, turning this wheel, turning the tide, because Russia at the moment is losing. In the past, we've got the Knight of Swords charging in, the harsh truth coming forward. Friday was a harsh truth. Let's see where this goes. The Seven of Cups. This is about offers being presented, choices, poor choices, but choices based on greed and power and addiction and wealth and is crowning over this. Will they get away with it? The decision's not finalised as of yet. The immediate future is the decision what strategy to take as to whether to pull the trigger on this. But this is the intention. The Seven of Swords, the betrayal of the ally. I feel really disgusted internally. Goodness me, it's literally, aside from the celebrating of the Emperor, it's the only bright card in this reading so far. The Queen of Wands. This is whoever this European female spokesperson is bringing forward a powerful message internally here. Are they going to get away with it? Oh, of course it is. Avril Haines. Sorry, my bad. Avril Haines here. She's got information. Oh, gosh, I wish they'd just bring it forward anyhow. So the hopes and fears. The Knight of Wands. leaping through the flames with this messaging, volatile information coming forward, the outcome, oh thank goodness, the star of hope and healing and protection. The outcome, the Nine of Wands, boundaries, protections, holding. The Seven of Wands, bringing down the wrath upon those and investigation into this devil. And then a new start. Oh, thank goodness, and solid protection. Oh, Five of Cups. Russia is literally worn the seat of its pants out. The Knight of Cups, the offer being made. And then we have the King of Swords, prosecution, Page of Swords, Queen of Swords. He is going to hang his backside out to dry, where there can be no denying on whose side he is. So I'm going to say yes, he is. Is he going to get away with it? I don't think so. Looking at that Nine of Wands, the protection, the defense holding, I think the far out. I think the unity of the rest of the world is going to hold, but boy, oh boy, is he going to hang himself out to dry. And all those associated with him. But as I keep saying, it's going to get worse before it gets better. So please, if you think you might be affected by what is happening on a personal level, look into services, private services, churches, community groups, etc., that you can plug into. Look, write down all your options for if this happens, I can do this, and this, so that you know what paths you have available to you. Takes a lot of stress off the situation, and you may not need to use any of them. But if you know that they are there, you can let go of the stress and know that this will play out. But this is really big picture stuff. This is fourth turning, new cycle as we enter a new age, which means we got to clean out a lot of the old stuff. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, that was a long reading. I do apologise for it being so long. I've got a lot to get through today, so love to you all. Take care.